The Game Awards debut in December, and right now it is October 2022, and I wanted to get a little bit ahead of the wave to see if I can make some blind predictions. The categories have not been announced yet, but I wanted to see if I could catch the wave extremely early and see if I can make some predictions without any information provided whatsoever. I always look forward to the Game Awards. I always enjoy reminiscing about the year of video games. I love that they celebrate video games. The shows sometimes are hit or miss, but for the most part, I always look forward to watching them anyway. I'm always going to be tuned in. So my favorite years of the Game Awards were 2008. We had Metal Gear Solid 4. We had Rock Band 2. Jack Black hosted. 2011 was another one of my favorite video game years. We had Skyrim, the game of the decade, which continues to sell well, even 10 years after, and it sells for $10 more expensive today than it does in 2011. Not only that, but prices have inflated, and so has Todd Howard's ego. So much to the point where he is in the middle of making No Man's Skyrim. Thank you, Alana Pierce, for that joke. 2017 was another one of my favorite Game Awards years. We had the likes of Breath of the Wild winning Game of the Year. We had Mario Odyssey, and we had other great Nintendo games. It was a really good year It was a really good year for Nintendo exclusives, as well as we had the likes of Horizon Zero Dawn. 2018 was another one of my favorite years. That was probably my last favorite year of the Game Awards. In that year, we had Red Dead Redemption 2, we had Spider-Man, we had God of War. It was a really great year to be a PlayStation game or a Rockstar game. Outside of these years have been a little hit or miss, but regardless, again, I always look forward to the Game Awards every single year. So here are my blind predictions for the Game Awards 2022. The first one, they always do this, is as best game direction. I think this one's going to go to Elden Ring. Everyone seems to love this game. I personally am not a From Software person. I like to sit back and actually relax and enjoy my video games. I think that best narrative is probably going to go to Horizon Forbidden West. The funny thing about this game's story is that I remember it being awesome. I remember really enjoying it. The issue with me is that I played it for so long and I spaced out the main quests over so much time that I kind of got jumbled in the mix of things. But that is not to say that it isn't great. You should definitely play it. I'm going to do a video on it soon. I think best art direction is going to go to Triangle Strategy. If you just look at Triangle Strategy, how can you not give it best art direction? You got hand drawings, you've got colors, it's a Super Nintendo game that's made on modern hardware, and Super Nintendo is timeless. Best score in music, I think, are going to go to Elden Ring. I have not personally listened to the soundtrack of this game, but there's no way that this game is not dominating the Game Awards. Next up, we got Best Family Game, which I think is going to go to Splatoon 3. Family Game is always a reliable Nintendo win in this category, so between Mario Strikers, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, and Pokemon Legends Arceus, I think the competition will be tight, but ultimately I think Splatoon's sales are going to cause it to win out. Best Action Game, I think, is going to throw us for a loop. I really think it's going to go to The Last of Us Part 1. Not that I agree with that choice, but I do think that the reason that because they made it from the ground up is enough of a remake to warrant the game worthy of a nomination, at least a nomination, if not a win in this category. I think with Resident Evil 2 almost winning a few years ago, that remake was enough to get the nod, and I think Jeff Keighley definitely wants to slide this one in here. So it's kind of like how Sarah Smiles by Hall & Oates double-dipped on their Grammy Awards. Maybe, maybe not, but I kind of think that's going to happen for Best Action Game. Best RPG is going to go to Triangle Strategy, most likely. I have not personally played this one. I want to play this one, But I still actually have to finish Octopath Traveler before I move on to this one. Most anticipated game, I believe, will go to... What do we all think? Well, Zelda, Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. A lot of us got excited when they gave us about a minute teaser for this new Zelda game, followed by a title that none of us really thought was actually spoilerish, and yet we got really excited and we forgot that they didn't really give us that much in the direct. So, I digress. I believe if this goes anything like 2018, that Game of the Year, even though Elden Ring is going to win a lot of awards, I believe, I think ultimately Game of the Year will probably go to God of War Ragnarok. None of us have played. It comes out in next month, actually. So with the recency bias, I think I think it's going to be a great game regardless. I think the recency bias might have a little bit to do with it, but if this goes anything like 2018 did, then I think God of War Ragnarok definitely will take home the W in this case. Even though I haven't played it, I'm actually kind of rooting for it to get Game of the Year. So these are games that I hope these are games in which I think will win the game awards. Not necessarily all of them I'm rooting for to get Game of the Year. This is what I think are probably realistically going to happen. I will say that there are so many games on here that my backlog, as big as it is, I'm never going to play all these games. So, what do you guys think? Am I onto something with these predictions, or do you think these predictions are pretty whack? Let me know in the comments below. And more importantly, what games on here do you think that you'll have time to finish? When the official list comes out, I will make a video on that and give commentary. But until next time, go spend time with your families, go ace that next test, go book that next gig, and keep gaming. I'll see you in the next one.